Hey guys, how are we doing? It's Cryptoinsightuk here, bringing you back a little XRP technical analysis video. Just before we get into any of the technicals, I just want to say to you guys that whatever I say in this video is just my personal opinion. If you guys are making profits, just remember that unrealized or paper gains don't mean anything until you've taken money into your account. This is just the way I'm playing it. I have a huge amount of exposure to XRP, including that with some clients, so my take profit plan might be slightly different to you guys, and we're not going to go through take profit specifically now. I'll be transparent whenever I take some money off the table with XRP. I just want to talk about a few things that XRP has done in the past so we can have some sort of indication of what it might do in the future. I've seen a lot of different talk on Twitter about the price action of XRP and how they're a bit disappointed about what the price is doing, and I just want to show people that it's not up in straight lines. It never is. It's never easy to hold any asset, and we've made huge gains so far, and I want to just explain essentially what I think is going on. When I made a video the other day, I talked about how the 55-cent range was something I really wanted us to break, which is the range that we've been stuck in since May of last year, May of 2022. We smashed through the resistance at 55 cents, came up to 77, which I was talking about in the previous video if you watched that. We've been stuck at 77, we're stuck just below it now. I wouldn't be too surprised to see a retracement back down to the top of the range at 55 cents before a blast off, but I also think we could continue from here, and let me explain why. So what I'm going to show you now is I'm just going to zoom back to the 2017 cycle and just show you a few things to make everyone feel a bit more at ease with the price action. So right now we're looking at 2017. Look, what we saw was actually a big explosion in price like we've seen recently with XRP. We pushed up really far. We moved up 58% in the matter of 3 days. It was 1, 2, 3 candles that moved us up 58%. And then after this move, we actually had a retracement. The retracement or the pullback was actually 16.45%. And we sat at this level for 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the 5th day we started to have a little bit of a push, and the 6th day we had another big candle out of there. If you look back at time frames, it's easy to forget that we have big pullbacks like this, and I'm going to show you this one as well, because if you look back, all you see is, oh look, in the space of this amount of time, in the space of 12 days or 10 days, we did 900%, but what people forget is, within that period, we have days of consolidation, big pullbacks of 16%, chopping around in a range for 4 or 5 days. They can be really hard areas to hold on to assets because you're thinking, oh, the SEC suit is finished, this should be blasting off to the moon. No, it's not that easy. It never is with any asset. What you've got to think is a lot of people are going to be coming in on the short side with open interest. People are going to be taking profits. All these candles are essentially people just buying and selling. Some people may have been holding that asset for a long time, think, oh, okay, I can't hold this anymore. Thank goodness I've got my money back. Let me sell. Others are going to be the other side of that market thinking, oh, I missed the jump and I want to get in on a pullback. It pulls back, and that's how the price will fluctuate, and it could be extremely volatile, especially as liquidity might slow up and momentum starts to move with the asset and open interest really steps up a level. If we then look at what happened after that 5th day that I talked about, we then pushed another 666% in the space of 4 days. But then after that 600% push from the very top, we then had a pullback of 59%. So you've got to be prepared for 60% pullbacks on the way up. And then not only did we pull back 60%, we sat on top of that range for 25 days. That's a month. We pulled back 60%, sat on that range, slowly coming down. This is a really hard time frame to hold XRP. You pull back 66%, well, 58% from the top, and then we chop sideways and actually pull back a further 4 or 5% from the top. Then we have a little bit of a green candle still sitting on top of this. You're going to be having a lot of news coming. Oh, XRP is going to push down. It's going to come back down and test the range. And actually, no, what happens there is it continues for another huge leg up from that point. We go another 1,200% over the next 22 days. But we have 24 days of sitting on top of a range after a 60% pullback. Can you guys hold on to an asset for that long? Will that happen again this time? These are all questions that we actually don't know, but what we can do is look at the past and see what's happened and then give us some sort of mental preparation for what potentially could happen this time. And that's the important part, guys, is we look at history to give us some idea of what may happen now. That's how technical analysis works. So if I was going to guess a price action, and it is just a guess because all we're doing is using history to make an educated guess as what we think might happen in the future. is you have to look at areas in the past where there have been a lot of buying and selling transactions, or areas that have been really hard for the price to break up and they've rejected and come down. So above the 77-cent range, which I would like to hold a support, again, as I was saying, we could come down and test the range at the top. 55 cent would be great to have a little touch on top of that and push off, because that would then confirm the breakout and the sign of strength would be confirmed, and the top of the range would now be support, and we could really push out of this zone. However, XRP moves extremely violently when it moves. We've spoken about this a lot of times on this channel when I've given TA. It's really tough to categorize exactly what it's going to do in the short term. As you've seen before, we could consolidate for weeks here, or we could just continue to blast off 600 or 700% over the next few days. It's anybody's guess at what could happen next. A few of the catalysts, or a few of the things we might need to see in the market, are for the market in general not to be dumping. We don't want to see Bitcoin really starting to take a plunge. If Bitcoin chops sideways, or if Bitcoin slowly increases in price, that's fine. A good indicator for us that XRP might continue is other altcoins blasting off. As you can see, Doge today is up 7% and Solana up 8% as well. They're not bad things to be seen in the market. Areas to watch out for are the recent swing high that really caused us a problem before we came into this long drawn out bear market, which is around 143. We have another at 135, and then the previous top from 2021, which is in there at 198. If we do manage to blast through these ranges, we'll be looking up towards $3 before you know it. And I know that sounds a bit mad because we've obviously blasted off so quickly, but from this area here, we could move 87% in a day. We've seen that. We've seen it happen recently. What might catalyze that, I don't know. Or to the previous swing high at 175%. Yes, it does sound like a bit moon boy talk, but as I've said, XRP moves so fast. There are a lot of different paths that this could take. A few possible paths I think we could take are a consolidation down to the top of the range, and then a real push off towards the previous swing high, down to test the 77-cent level, and a blast off potentially to all-time high there, or towards the local high at 191, as we just talked about. That would be one potential path. Another potential path, as I was saying, it moves so fast when it moves, and I've shown you this just at the start of the video, could be we push straight up to that 191 sort of range, down to the swing high at 130, and straight up towards all-time highs here. That could happen really, really fast, and these time frames are not accurate. It would be something more like this is what I would expect, like within days or weeks that could happen if we do have those sort of parabolic moves there for XRP, which I do genuinely think is possible because of how long we've been consolidating for. And I think there's a lot of people ready to really pull the trigger on this. There's a lot of people who will have sold looking for 28 cent. That was a big thing in the community, and a lot of people who are going to get FOMO on this rally, especially if Ripple start to announce partnerships, ETFs start to come in and think, oh, we need to scoop an equal weighting of XRP because we've got a top 10% ETF. Grayscale Trust might come through and buy some XRP back. All these sort of things are catalysts, and then we've got partnerships as well. If these sorts of things start to really uncover over the next few days, as long as Bitcoin doesn't dump, as I said, XRP could really move mission faster than we think. But just as I've shown you in the past, guys, we could consolidate 24 days with a 60% correction or retracement. We might push up to 190 and then correct from 190 down to 60% down. Can you guys hold for that amount of time down to 75 cent again, and then we sit at 75 cent for 24 days? Imagine what the emotion's going to be like on crypto Twitter if we start to get moves like this. Can you guys hold the asset for that long? Do you want to take profits at 190? These are all the things you've got to be asking yourself, because it doesn't mean that we are going to blast off to all-time highs. This is just what would happen if we repeated similar moves to what we've seen in history. So I just wanted to come on here, guys, and be completely transparent with you and show you that even though when you look at the past, it looks like we've blasted off to the moon and everything's been amazing, it's moved 58,000% in 9 months. Within those 9 months, there are days where you have 60% corrections and then sit in that correctionary period for 24 days. That is an emotional battle. You've got to be prepared for things like that if you want to hold this asset. If you don't and you want to take some profits off the table, do whatever is right for you. I will tell you when I'm taking profits. As I said, I do have a lot of XRP personally, and I do manage them for some private clients, so I can also take that off the table for them because their risk appetite is less than mine. So these are different things that I have to take into consideration. Whenever I take any profit at all, I will tell you. I also want to know what's going on with the wider markets before I commit to any sort of profit taking plan. I will be completely transparent and open whenever I'm taking profits. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you understand why I'm not completely bullish in terms of let's just move mission right now. I'm just trying to give you guys some sort of realistic understanding of what could happen with price action. Thank you for tuning in. If you enjoyed, please share, retweet and comment below if you've got any questions. Peace up, A-Town down, as Crypto Insight UK would say.